In the spirit of Christmas, today we're going to be looking into the top 5 most chilling Easter eggs, mysteries, and discoveries ever found. Fable II. As a Peter Molyneux game, most gamers by now expect a lot of the things that Molyneux say are going to be in his games are not going to be there. For instance, Molyneux claimed for Fable 1 you could plant a seed and you could literally watch that seed grow into a tree in real time. Obviously that never happened, because what the hell reality does Peter Molyneux live in where that's possible in a 2004 game? Despite this, Fable 2 ended up fulfilling most promises, but nothing left players wishing for something more than when they discovered the Winter Lodge area. Throughout the game there's hidden demon doors, which are talking doors that let you into smaller areas for additional exploration and lore. These doors will only open after you complete a certain task in front of them, such as playing a song on your lute for the door that enjoys music. One of these doors opens up and brings you to this beautiful winter setting, where it takes you on a calm and alluring walk down a dimly lit snow-covered path, eventually leading to a warm and inviting home. As soon as you walk through the door, the entire thing transforms into the disturbing aftermath of a brutal torture scene, with bloody chains and bodies at your every turn. At the top of the stairs is a single chest, and inside is just a sword no better than the sword you probably already have. And that's it. There's absolutely no other answers as to what this highly disturbing massacre was supposed to be. There's not a letter or a code or any sort of forensic evidence that can solve this crime. Just an unsolved cold case in the middle of this lovely winter lodge. Merry Christmas? Virtua Fighter 3 TB. In Virtua Fighter 3 TB, on the character selection, select Sean and pin him against himself. Then on the level select, you have to choose the level Wolf. Now this definitely isn't a simple task, but the player has to achieve an excellent rating with Sean and then make sure his back is facing towards the dark sky. If you do it just right, the camera will move into just the right angle and you'll see... What the hell is that? I think it's a snowman. Oh damn, and it blinks. Is that even an Easter egg, or is that like some sort of unfinished model or something? Who even knows? Banjo Kazooie. In keeping with the cold weather theme, I thought what better time to explore some of the lesser discussed mysteries involving the Ice Key of Banjo Kazooie. The mystery began when players completed Banjo Kazooie and were told of additional collectibles that would unlock if they 100% completed the game. This sequence briefly showcased a hidden ice key, which was an item that could be found in a random crevice in Waz's cave, just out of reach behind an impassable barrier of ice. Once players 100% completed the game, they realized these collectibles never became unlocked, and the ice key remained perpetually inaccessible behind the frozen ice wall, leaving everyone out in the cold while it was even there. After managing to get in the room by hacking the game, an immediate mention of Stop and Swap appeared that only raised more questions. Players asked Rare for years what this referred to, and one time in 2004, Rare responded during a studio tour. Stop and Swap was never officially announced as being part of the game. It's in the past, let's move on. Damn, cold. It was eventually said in an interview years later that it was a cut feature where players could have taken out the cartridge of the game while it was still running and slipped in another cartridge where the unlocked items would have added bonus features in the sequel Banjo Tooie. This ultimately didn't work out because Nintendo made revisions to the N64 that no longer made this possible. However, a reference to the Ice Key was actually found in the code of a totally different game, Donkey Kong 64, which was also developed and released by Rare at the same time as Banjo Kazooie. When the key was hacked back in that game, it appeared in the inventory, but its visual appearance was completely gone. Even stranger, a glitch was more recently discovered that seems to indicate where the key would have actually had an application in Donkey Kong 64. By pressing A during an exact frame of the intro cutscene, you throw off an internal timer in the game that manages where the cutscenes start and begin. Once the intro story glitch is activated, the player has to jump into this level and immediately start to palmerize Donkey Kong until his health is down to 1. Once you're done torturing Donkey Kong, have him climb back into the clubhouse and stand at this exact position. After waiting for a certain period of time to pass, the player has to use oranges to knock Donkey Kong backwards into the home without ever actually stepping in. If done correctly at just the right time, the game loads a completely unused, never before seen cutscene, where the camera slowly moves into the corner of the screen. This fades away and teleports Donkey Kong to the other side of a random ice barrier and crystal caves way later in the game. Some players noticed in early press photos of the game there was originally a fridge in the corner of the clubhouse that was actually covered in Banjo Kazooie imagery. Connecting these pieces together, players now believe the ice key in Banjo Kazooie was originally going to be used as a stop and swap item for Donkey Kong 64, in which the ice key was going to unlock something with this fridge which would teleport them to this area in Crystal Caves for the final reveal. Unfortunately, whatever the hell that final reveal in Donkey Kong was supposed to be remains a complete mystery, even despite there being an unlockable with nuts and bolts that supposedly gives you all the answers. Go figure, the unlockable requires 6,000 music notes to unlock, and there's nowhere near 6,000 music notes in the actual game. Fortunately, hackers have pulled through once again, and by mining the game to have well over the actual possible amount of music notes, we can finally unlock the stop and swap truth. It says, "I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you." And we couldn't show that in a game with this rating. Put it out of your mind and think happy thoughts. Thanks for the notes. Once again, trolled by Rare. Matt Hoffman Pro BMX. In Matt Hoffman Pro BMX, there's a rather amusing Easter egg if you were to pause the game and restart a run 10 times in a row. You ride like a grandma. Hey, I haven't even rode yet. Oh. Well, now you've unlocked the hidden character Granny. And being that every pro BMXer has a highlight reel if you were to beat the game, completing the game as Grandma unlocks this video. As you watch what I assume is one of the game's developers dressed in drag complete with this holiday classic. Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy series has always had a couple of chilling instances of video game mysteries. A particular mystery of note involves the character Aries who, sorry for the 20-year-old spoiler, doesn't exactly make it to the end of the adventure, which broke the hearts to a generation of players who to this day still long for a way to make Aries survive. However, through the use of hacking or a glitch known as Yuffie warping on the PC version, Aries can be brought back to life and placed into your party where she joins in on the rest of the adventure without saying anything for several protracted scenes. Chillingly, this suddenly changes once you're at Great Glacier several scenes later when Aries begins to speak some unique lines of dialogue that can't be seen anywhere else in the game. Weirdly, Aries continues to have some small lines of dialogue throughout the rest of the adventure, which implies to players Aries was either originally meant to survive the adventure or that the long-lasting rumor that Aries could actually be revived in the game is somehow actually true. An even colder mystery was found in the PSP version of Final Fantasy IV. On extremely rare occasion, players would encounter a random battle in the game where the character names didn't appear to match the sprites on screen. Upon completion of the battle, they received an item so rare I only have this not so great footage to prove it. For some strange reason, an item would appear in the inventory called "I'm cold ... According to the item description, it's actually an axe. However, it can't be equipped or used by any of the characters. Additionally, players that went to sell the item found out that it was actually worth 3,375,158 gil. Oh, sweet. While it's unclear if it was intentional or not, we're still left entirely in the dark about what I'm cold is or referring to at all, making for one of the most chilling unsolved mystery items ever found in video games. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please subscribe. And if you know of any other chilling video game discoveries or mysteries, please let me know down below in the comments, or come tell me on the Discord or even submit on oddheader.com. Shout out to Dr. Love, Emery, J-Day, Pestlin Sleeper, Nest Dude, Nick Fade, Spencer, and Towerizer for their contributions on Patreon. And keep a lookout for music from Oddheader Volume 1, about to drop soon. Stay tuned.